Roger Kramer made the point this morning. It's not about the money for Apple in this case, more about principle. What do they do here?
I think this is a tough call because I think this is really Apple is now simply in the crossfire of the battle over globalization, if you will. And the EU is having a hard time keeping its member countries in line. And Ireland, in many ways, is the poster child for the EU's success. And so this conflict, I think, is particularly politically dangerous for the EU at a time when there are a lot of countries like Britain and others who are looking to exit or at least change their relationship. So to me, I think this looks like a lose-lose for everyone involved. I don't see a good outcome. I don't think at the end of the day it's going to make that big a difference to Apple, but I think it is going to make a difference to how trade works around the world.
Well, normally in a case like this, you say, okay, well, if the EU is getting complicated in terms of tax, somebody else benefits. But the U.S. is kind of complicated now when it comes to how tech companies operate. We just had those tech CEOs, that meeting at Trump Tower last week. Who wins in this global game of chess that we're seeing unfurl? I mean, there's China with TPP trying to forge new relationships with the countries close to it in Asia. Is this a net benefit for China?
You know, John, I think it's too early to tell. To me, there's going to be a new equilibrium, and whether it's centered around China, which seems like at least a likely, if not most likely event, or whether it's something else, we don't know. But the disequilibrium, I think, is bad for everyone. The period of time as we adjust to whatever comes next is going to result in less business for everybody. And that's the longer that lasts, the worse it is for everybody. I think from a U.S. perspective, we were the biggest beneficiary of globalization. So the end of globalization is bad for companies based in the U.S. who are not able to reposition themselves more effectively. And it sure doesn't look like U.S. companies can repot to China successfully. So from a perspective of a U.S. investor looking at U.S. companies, the best outcome seems like the least likely one, that we get back to a comfortable globalization strategy.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.